In section 3.6, we're going to talk about solving equations with rational numbers, or in other words, solving equations with decimals and fractions. Remember back to chapter 1 and chapter 2, when solving an equation, our goal is to get the variable alone. What I mean by getting the variable alone is get the letter on its own side of the equal sign. Okay, to do that, remember we use inverse operations. Okay, remember that the word inverse means opposite. So when we are solving equations, we use opposite or inverse operations. Now, you can use your guided notes here to do these problems. I'm going to go where I have more room to solve the equations. Okay, so example 1, letter A, says to solve m plus 4 6/10 equals 9. So here's what I'm going to do. Our goal is to solve this, so that means to get the m all alone on its own side. So right here, okay, we need to get this m alone. We're going to use inverse operations. So they're adding 4.6, so we want to do the opposite of adding 4.6, and that's subtracting 4.6. So I'm going to subtract 4 6/10. Over here I'm going to do the same thing, minus 4 6/10. Okay, now the only thing I have left on the left side is m. I have an equal sign in the middle. Now this is the part that's new from chapter 3, is we just need to subtract this. Remember, when we add and subtract with decimals, we need to line up the decimal. So there is the decimal on the 4.6. I'm going to give this 9 a decimal and a 0 so I can subtract it. Now we're going to subtract it. This 9 is going to change to an 8. Carry the 1 over here. We get 4. That decimal comes straight down. 8 minus 4 is 4. So my solution to this problem is m equals 4.4. Okay, on this one, notice we have 8.2 times p. Remember, there's a multiplication dot in between those. They're really multiplying those. Equals negative 32.8. So once again, I'm going to split this into a left side and a right side. And our goal is to get p alone. Notice, p is being multiplied right now. So to undo multiplying, I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide by 8.2. And over here I'm going to divide by 8.2. Notice I'm left with p equals, now I have to divide this. Right here I have to divide that problem. Notice I have a negative divided by a positive, so my answer is going to be negative. Now I'm going to do some long division. I have 32.8. The top number goes inside, divided by 8.2. I'm going to divide or move that decimal once. So if I move it once over there, I got to move it once over there. My new problem that I'm going to write in black here is 82. It's on the outside, and 328. Okay, right there. Okay, 8 won't go into 3. 8 won't go into 30, or 82 won't go into 3. 82 won't go into 32. I'm going to guess 4 here. So 82 times 4, I get 8. And look at that, it comes out evenly, so it's going to go in there 4 times. I get 328. I get a remainder of 0. So when I divided this up here, I divided that right down here after I moved the decimal. So my final answer is going to be p equals negative, because a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and right there 4. So once again, my final answer is going to be p equals negative 4. Alright, on letter C here, okay, notice what we have going on is we're still trying to solve this. So I'm going to split it into a left side and a right side. Our goal is to get that x all alone. Okay, notice on the left side here, what's going on between that x and that 1.2 is division. So I need to do the opposite of dividing, okay, which is multiplying. So right here we're dividing by 1.2, so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by 1.2. That cancels, those cancel each other out. Multiply by 1.2 on the left side, I got to do it on the right side. Times 1.2, and I'm left with x equals, now I just need to multiply this right here. So I'm going to multiply that 15 times 1.2, get 10, carry the 1, 3, 0, 5, 1, 0, 8, 1. This has no decimal places. This has one decimal place, so that means 0 plus 1 right here is 0 plus 1 is 1, so I just need to move the decimal place in. It's right there. So I get my answer of 18.0, but notice that 0.0 is extra because 18.0 is the same thing as 18, so I'm going to get rid of it. And my final answer is x is 18. Alright, on this one, the only thing that's different is we're going to deal with some fractions here. So once again, we want to solve this, so I'm going to split it into a left side and a right side. Notice on the left side we're adding 2/7, so to undo adding 2/7, I'm going to subtract 2/7. That's going to disappear, and over here I'm going to subtract 2/7. I'm now left on the left side with an x. I have that equal sign in the middle. Now I need to do this problem right here. I have negative 3/7 minus 2/7. Alright, notice the denominators are the same, so the bottom numbers there are the same, so I'm just going to do the top numbers. So on the top, I have negative 3 minus 2. The bottom's a 7, they're going to stay 7. That's going to equal. Now to do this problem, I'm going to add the opposite. So this negative 3 minus 2 is going to change into negative 3 plus a negative 2 all over 7. Alright, that would equal the top here. Okay, this part right here, negative 3 plus negative 2 is negative 5 over 7. So x is negative 5/7. Okay, let's move on to the next example. Alright, on the next one, once again, we want to solve this, so I want to get y alone on its own side. So notice with y, we have y minus 1/6. We want to get rid of that 1/6. Okay, and then we want to get rid of that minus 1/6, so we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to add 1/6. That's gone. Over here I'm going to add 1/6. Alright, now I'm left with y equals, now over here, this is what I need to do. Right, to get my answer, I need to do 2/3 plus 1/6. Notice the denominators are not the same. This is a 3, this is a 6. So we got to use our technique from before. I'm going to take this 6 and multiply it over here, times 6 over 6. Okay, I'm going to take this 3 over there and multiply it times 3 over 3. And I end up getting 2 times 6 is 12 over 18. Plus is my middle sign there. I have plus, and then on the top, 1 times 3 is 3, over 6 times 3 is 18. When I add those together, add the top, 12 plus 3 is 15, all over 18. I can divide the top and bottom by 3, and I get 5/6. So y is going to equal 5/6. Finally, the last one. Okay, here notice we have a fraction over here, right here. We have a fraction times x. Remember, there's a multiplication dot in between there. Okay, this may be new to us. Technically, in the past, we would divide by 5/6. But here, when we have a fraction multiplied by a variable, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So notice, when we do this, this is 5/6. I'm going to multiply it by its reciprocal, or 6/5. That cancels itself out. That cancels itself out. So I'm just left with x all alone. Over here I multiplied by 6/5. Over here I'm going to multiply by 6/5. Okay, now I'm left with x is the only thing I have left on the left side, equals in the middle here now. Here's my problem that I need to work on to finish up. I need to do that problem right there. 5/8 times 6/5. I'm going to cross cancel here. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I can't cancel anything else, so on the top I'm left with just 1 times 3 is 3. And on the bottom I'm left with 4 times 1 is 4. So my answer to this problem is x equals 3/4. So today we pretty much reviewed how to solve equations, except we included all the new techniques we talked about dealing with rational numbers in Chapter 3.